Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Black Ink Crew Chicago Season 7, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you get anything out of the content. Now let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Ryan is in the shop with his feet out, honey, with his slides on. I was like, what is happening? So, honey, we know he not doing no work, child. He specifically showed up to film, stand on top of that table so he can be taller than Don and Four, and then go and take his ponytail somewhere and lay down, okay? So Don shows up and they start talking about the tattoo convention. So then Ryan says that he wants Don to be the event planner. I said, not from the piercer to the event planner. Child, I know you can lie. He says he wants him to do the planning for special events, so he can be remote and whatnot, and he don't have to be in the shop, and then he can, be around for his gym. Ryan, okay? I think him getting his gym, it's time to let him spread his little wings. What you think? Time to let him go, okay? Because listen, he can still be a part of the Black Ink crew without being in there with Black Ink. Honey, if you don't let this man open his gym and get on from up under you, boy, goodbye. So Don is telling him that he's going to do a soft opening for the gym. He going to keep it COVID safe and whatnot. Only a few people, just the crew. So then he starts telling them, I think it's one of the artists, one of the ladies there. So all the men were gone, right? He's like, yeah, I can get you some thighs. She was like, I don't want no thighs. I want a stallion booty. Shout out to Kenya Moore, okay? That was before Megan. Okay, Kenya was actually the originator of stallion booty, even though she was like kind of copying off of Phaedra. If you're a Real Housewife of Atlanta watcher, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So she was saying she wanted the stallion booty, and the whole time he was talking to her, I was thinking, Don about to flip everybody upside down in that gym. Do y'all hear me? Baby, Don gonna be doing it and doing it and doing it well. Shout out to LL Cool J, honey. He gonna be doing something in that gym he ain't got no business doing. So Ashley, I know you got your security together and everything, but honey, this gym, you know what they be saying about them trainers, y'all, honey. I'm just saying. Moving forward. So we over with Charmaine. She's doing a remote radio show inside the shop. And she says she wants some old faces back. Girl, at this point, we need any face. Okay? Old, new, honey, in between. We just need somebody in the shop. We need life in this shop. So then she calls Heaven, who was formerly one of the tattoo artists that was on Black Ink Crew Chicago last season. And so he was just telling us, he wasn't comfortable in his own skin, so he started his transition. Charmaine is telling him, that she's proud of him for living in his truth, and she saw it all over Instagram, and she wants to know if he can come back to the shop. She's saying she's very proud, of him, and she wants to know if Heaven can come back to the shop. Of course, the answer was yes. Moving forward. Four wanders in like his dog died. I'm like, boy, what is wrong with you today? Ugh. So the guys are like, what's up, bro? What's wrong with you? Nothing. It's called idiocracy. It's a disease. So he tells us in the confessional that it's been 2 days since he's talked to Nina. 2 days, and she's 8 months pregnant. Y'all didn't have that type of argument, honey, that you needed to stay away for 2 days. He's like, I'm just burnt out. I'm tired of arguing. Four, grow up, honey. The name alone, honey. You're acting your age of your name. Of your name is Four, honey. I'm spelling it Four. You're acting Four, honey. It's a fool. So he tells them that he went to see her and her mom and everything was good. So Don was like, you didn't disrespect her mama, did you? Well, Don, you got to ask, because this is Four. This season, he is losing his mind, okay? He was like, nah, I didn't disrespect her mom. She was actually cool. It was Nina that I got into it with. So Don was like, well, I'm glad you took a minute to gather your thoughts and your little baby dreads and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you still got the baby. So Don is trying to tell him, look, to remember she's carrying your baby, bro. You can't just do what you want to do. So child, Ryan was trying to give some advice, but honey, I tuned him out because I'm like this. If your stuff messed up, please don't try to advise me, honey, because I cannot take you or your ponytail seriously. Moving forward. Four is still making excuses. So then he's like, I just see that she's going to have control over the baby. And I've been, researching some parental rights in case things go left. You know what? It truly amazes me when guys read the F-boy manual. How has she given you any clue that she wants to control you being a parent? Now, I'm all for you making sure that you have the proper channels in place, but it's just so funny that now you want to make sure all your ducks are in a row when you couldn't put a condom on. So don't start now trying to act like, I'm an adult, so I got to make sure I make adult decisions. The adult decision would be not to get someone pregnant that you are not interested in. You act like you don't even like her. So you talking about you researching parental rights and whatnot, boy, goodbye. All she said is, I want to be together. I want stability. I want a future with you. I want you home at night. You know what? You're right. She's a monster. You better make sure that you research your parental rights because she can't be trusted. Boy, shut up. Then you said you didn't even want to be in the delivery room, but you want to make sure you get your parental rights in order. She wants you there. So he's already started with she might not let me see my son. Boy, gone. Over in the next scene, Drea's at the shop and she's like, this is my first day and I wasn't expecting to walk into an empty shop. I was, honey, but carry on. She's like, there are no customers, no supplies, no Charmaine. It's giving deja vu. Baby, I swear it's deja vu. Shout out to Beyonce. So then Kitty rolls in. She's like, hey, y'all. Here go Drea. Ain't no hey, y'all. Child, that was so funny to me. But honey, Drea's a little complainer, honey. You knew what it was when you know what it is when you signed up. Shout out to Drake. Like you already knew what you were getting yourself into. Girl, goodbye. Now, Kitty knows she don't see not another soul in that shop. Do y'all hear me? When she came in talking about, hey, y'all, this is not Black Ink Crew New York. This is not 9 Mag, honey. This is Empty City Inc. And you have come inside and looked around knowing dang on well it ain't nobody in here. She's like, it's not feeling like much of a vibe because ain't nobody in here. She's like, well, what else is new? Well, brand manager, why don't you start IG posting or something? What exactly does your role entail? You sitting up here talking about it, but you ain't doing nothing to help the situation. Because what you want is you want Charmaine to put you second in charge. You want to be second in command. What you're here for is to be a brand ambassador or a brand manager. I don't even know what that is, child. But I would assume it's to get the brand out there to bring the people in. But you're not even doing that. You're sitting around talking on the phone, drinking frappuccinos in the middle of the day. So girl, hush. So Kitty, in her confessional, she's like, I'm a little bit embarrassed. It's Drea's first day in the shop and there's literally no one here. Honey, I don't know why there was literally no one there when you sold her that pipe dream to come back. She's like, in order for this to be a premier shop like I want it to be, we need great artists. Y'all need to close up shop and stop pretending this is a shop, okay? Because it's embarrassing at this point. This is a sound stage at this point, okay? So Drea is like, well, where is everybody? Sis, you are everybody. And where are your clients? It's your job to book your own clients. Now, did I get that wrong? Or maybe that's just me. Because I feel like as a tattoo artist, you need to be providing your own clients. So then Johnny walks in and I'm like, hey, Johnny, who are you? And Kitty was like, he's a piercer. Charmaine hired him and he has a client. Child, that's probably his girlfriend. I'm not about to play with y'all. I'm not about to play with y'all, honey. No, ma'am. So then Johnny gets a second and a third client. I said, baby, Johnny got to be passing out flyers. And now this is how you do it. Child, he came in and the people were following behind him. So Drea finds out that there's no shop manager. Drea, why don't you open a shop? Since you don't do nothing but complain, why don't you and Kitty get together and open up your own tattoo shop? How about that? In the next scene, Ford got his sorry tail at the studio making music. Then he gets a text from Nina saying she's moving out. He's like, I was trying to blow off some steam and here she go adding to it. He's like, she's been wrong this whole time and she don't see it. So instead of him responding to her, he goes in the booth to spit his 16 bars. While he's spitting a cold 16, honey, because Ford been working on that rap career since 96. Do y'all hear me? Nina is packing up. So we see her packing up while he rapping about we used to be in love, but now I'm a thug. I was in the street, but now I'm beating my feet. And then I went to the street and went to meet and all that. She's talking about all the love or whatever. Child, goodbye. Honey, you done wrote this rap specifically for this scene. Goodbye. So he steady rapping and whatnot, and she steady wrapping it up. So while he's doing that, he's still using his unborn child as an excuse. I can see us blowing up. This is what he's saying in the confession. I can see us blowing up and I don't want to blow up in front of my child. Ford, just be a man and say, I didn't mean to get you pregnant. I'm not going to be with you, but I'll be there for my child. And honey, you should be happy that she's giving you what you wanted. You wanted her to leave and she's leaving. You don't want her hanging around, so she's not hanging on no more, honey. She's trying to get on. I'm just not understanding what is the problem. Back at Charmaine's prop house, she shows up with a man and his daughter in tow. And I'm like, what is happening here? Honey, kids all up in the tattoo shop? But okay. So she's talking to the tattoo artist and then her dad calls and She's like, hold on, I need to take this. And she puts it on speakerphone. And he's telling her that he doesn't think he's going to recover. So she starts crying, and Kitty comes in to take the artist out. Charmaine, you cannot do everything, okay? The markings of a good boss is you being able to delegate tasks and trust your team. Honey, that was unprofessional to take a call during a potential interview. Now, I know you have to take the call, but if you let Kitty help you or somebody, that doesn't mean that the shop is theirs. They're just helping you. You need to make sure you're mentally healthy. And that means not taking on so much. I feel so bad for Charmaine, even though we know that this is already played out. We know how the end is going to be. I understand that. But it's still hard to watch, and I'm sure it's hard for her to relive. And in this moment that they were filming this, she needed some assistance. The more I watch this, the more I realize that my son needs a sibling. He's going to need somebody to lean on. Because look at poor Charmaine. She's the only child. Both of her parents have gone on. And she was there by herself having to do everything. Having to worry about their health. Having to take on the responsibility as caregiver. And that's too much for one person. Not to mention she's a new wife. She's a new mom. That's too much. So Kitty was like, Charmaine is using the shop to distract her from her father's failing health. And she needs someone to take the reins. But obviously, she doesn't think it's me. I think you need to open your own shop, Kitty. Because you always want more. And these shop owners are not giving you more. Same thing happened with C's. Then you came down here in last season. Jess took over. And you were fighting with her because you wanted more responsibility. Now it's just you. And you still can't get what you want. So to me, if I were you, I would say, you know what? Let me stop going into these black ink shops as a sidekick and let me do my own thing. But maybe that's just me. Moving forward. So Charmaine goes in to talk to Drea, and she's like, thank you so much for having my back. And Drea was like, thank you so much for having me back. So Charmaine said, look, I'm definitely going to be more involved here. I'm here for all of you. So Drea goes, well, I've noticed some things. And Charmaine was like, child, what? Tell me. But I know she was probably thinking, now what this heifer got to say now, honey? I always got something to say. What do you need to say now? So she's like, well, we have a broken stencil maker, no razors, no beds, no green soap. She's like, I don't want to tell her that the shop is crappy, but the shop is crappy, honey, and is, okay? So Drea is begging Charmaine to let her help. She's like, please let me help you. And so then Charmaine was like, well, the convention's coming up and I really don't know how to fill out the paperwork. So maybe you can help me with that. But when she said that, I was like, I know Nine Mag has been to the tattoo convention before. And wasn't Charmaine in charge of doing the Nine Mag paperwork? I'm confused, but I guess maybe I'm thinking about something else. I don't know. So Drea is asking who's going to have to pay for the booths. Charmaine is like, y'all. Child, of course y'all do, honey. Do you see any money being made besides Johnny? Honey, please let me know. And speaking of, sis, where are your clients? Again, I'm going to ask that. I understand you're showing up. This is your first day on the job, but your first day, you need to come with clients. Girl, moving forward. Kitty is in the shop hanging out, talking about how she want to learn how to tattoo. Girl, please. Okay, now y'all getting crazy. Nobody wants you playing and digging into their skin. Girl, that is serious. Girl, go. So they get a FaceTime call from another sign of life. Finally, somebody else. It was Steven who made an appearance last season. Remember, he was Jess's friend. So she's telling him that she's trying to get people in the door. He's like, why don't you post a few cute pics on Instagram and tell them that y'all open again? Thank you, Steven. Please tell her what a brand manager does. Kitty is like, well, you need to teach me how to tattoo. She's like, it's going to help me as a brand manager. Girl, learning to tattoo is not going to help you with being no brand manager. That don't even make no sense. But girl, if that's what you want to say, so you can stick around, then go ahead and say it. In the next scene, Ford shows up after being gone for 40 days and 40 nights. And he's like, can y'all stop for a second? Because the movers were moving Nina, right? Well, they were packing these 2 boxes, child. It looked very staged to me. But go on, set yourself off. She's like, y'all can just wrap it up right quick and just put it off to the side. No. I would be like, I need to get out of here, honey. Movers charged by the hour. What is it that you have to say? Why don't you text me the same way I texted you that I was leaving? You didn't respond then. Please don't come home responding now. So he's like, you really gonna leave without saying bye? He's like, I didn't know it was really this serious. Maybe I should have responded to the text message faster. I didn't know it was going to be this fast as she was leaving. You didn't think she was going to leave this fast. So then he sits down and says, what's your reason for packing your bags? Let's revisit. You act like you don't want her around. You said you wouldn't be involved when she was delivering. You didn't want to be in the delivery room. She asked you to unpack the gifts that you got at the shower. You didn't want to do that. You told her that all she does is control you. You're not coming in before 3 a.m. You're going to come in when you feel like it. And you said what you said and you ain't changing it. So, yeah, that's pretty much why she's packing her bags. This is if I'll show you better than I can tell you were a person. Okay, you went missing while she's 8.5 months pregnant. Child, your child could be in the world. You wouldn't even know because you in the studio dropping some beats. Shout out to Nene Leaks. So she's like, I haven't heard from you. So then he starts gaslighting her like they like to do. And she's like, this is not how I envisioned having a child. I feel like it's too late to be so uncertain. She said, if you want an excuse to move around, just say that. Honey, he is saying that, sis. Yes, he is. His actions are speaking for him. Pay attention to his actions, honey. So he's like, well, you know, something got to change. Yes, you got to change. I pick you for $200, Alex. Like, what are you talking about? So he goes from, I want you out to, I love you so much. You know, I don't want you hunting for apartments when you don't have to. No, you want her here so you can make sure you see the baby. You don't want her there. Okay. You keep hollering about co-parenting this and co-parenting that. So you got it. Co-parents live in separate households. Honey, I ain't co-parenting with you under the same roof. Now you can stay out till 3 a.m. Honey, it's a win-win for everyone. She gets a peace of mind. She doesn't have to anticipate you coming home and you ain't got to come home. You can come over, see the baby, throw him up in the air, put him down and leave. You and your tiny braids. Child, what is the difference? You ain't never around no way. So then he said, you know, I want to literally have a say-so in my child's life. She's like, absolutely. He said, no, I mean legally. He's like, we can get a paternity test before or after the baby gets here, but I prefer to get one before. I would have been like, so you stopped my movers to sit me down for a DNA test talk? Boy, go to hell, respectfully. Child, he is really a nut. She's like, I'm 8 months pregnant and this is where your head's at? So then she was like, there's no reason to question me. I've only dealt with him for a year straight. To me, that was very insensitive of Ford to start talking about a DNA test when the girl is already going through. And he really showing his black tail this season. Honey, he is really showing his tail. And I know Nikki is somewhere probably pouring one up, honey, after seeing how she dodged this bullet. Thank God you blew it. Thank God I dodged a bullet. Honey, shout out to Beyonce. Child, I would sing it for y'all, but my throat's a little scratchy. Moving forward. So she's like, I think it would be unnecessary to get a DNA test. He's like, well, they told me I can't get parental rights without proof. Not even consulted an attorney. Oh, child, honey, it's going to be a long 18 years. So then he starts claiming he wants to be, you know, peaceful, all while demeaning and stressing her out, honey. So he's talking about, you know, I think want things to be peaceful while he's stressing out the mother of his unborn child. 4, once again, grow up. So basically he said all this to say he's moving out. He would make me want to scream. I would scream when he came around. In the next scene, Don stops by the shop to invite Charmaine his grand opening. And so then he's like, you know, I want to invite you, sis. See, this is why I instantly dump any man that has play sisters. Because if you had sex with her, it's incest at this point. Like red flags all up and through. Flag on the play, honey. Flag, flag, flags. Child, anytime I hear, yeah, she like a sister to me, I instantly block them. You and Charmaine have had sex. So therefore, and thus and such, she can't be your sister. Child, anywho, moving forward. 4 wants to let off some steam, and so he does a tattoo. And child, I forgot he was a tattoo artist. Ryan stops by to see what's happening. And he was like, nothing, I just want to, you know, work my way through it. So he's tattooing and whatnot. In the next scene, Charmaine is telling Neek about the invite that Don gave her. And she's like, you know, it was really good vibes. He was like, no, it's giving me scumbag vibes. I'm with you, Neek. He's like, hell no, they lied on you. They put a body on your name. And now he's inviting you to his business opening. We should not be supporting anything that he does. I just want to ask y'all this question. Do y'all think Charmaine slept with Van? I think she did. But that's just me. I think Van came back and said that it was a lie because he saw that it was hurting Charmaine. But I may be wrong. Y'all tell me down in the comments if you think she slept with Van. She's like, Neek never really moved past all the hurt. But, you know, I want to support Nine Mag. And, you know, I just really want to be there for them. Why? They treated you like trash. It's okay to forgive them. But I'm like Neek. I will support you from afar. I understand her side too, though, because she's known them for forever and she doesn't want to seem like a hater. But at the same time, you have to stick with your husband, honey, because unless a man would have believed exactly what they were saying. Now, this could have potentially ruined your entire future. You got a good man, you got a baby, you got another baby on the way, you got your radio career, you got your own shop. You're doing things that people probably didn't think you were able to achieve. And then they were trying to like crumble it all within a second by this lie. He's like, well, you need to focus on being a wife and a mom. Honey, I concur. In the next scene, Charmaine's brother Don is at his gym. Child, not the brother. And they're talking about the grand opening. He's like, I have a few people coming by, the virus being one of them, okay? So a producer comes in. He's like, let me talk to you outside for a second. So he tells Don that they had a positive test. Nick, let me find out you behind this. Let me find out you done sabotage Don's grand opening. No, I'm just kidding, child. But anywho, Don is like, I still got people coming. It's our grand opening. He's like, this is my big day. When he said, here comes the virus and it's stinking ass, honey, I hollered. So he says that the virus is messing up the day and whatnot. And the way I cackled, honey, y'all don't even want to hear it, child. I hollered. So he had to go in and tell his partners. He's like, unfortunately, we got to shut down because of the virus and the pandemic and everything. And there's been a positive test, so we're not going to be able to do it. Here go the dude. He like, well, it's going to be around. I'm sick of this. I mean, people going to get it. That's what's going to happen. Look, I hear y'all. Okay, we all sick of it. But I have family members on ventilators right now due to this. So please take people's lives seriously. Honey, this stuff ain't no joke. Now, I understand you want to have your grand opening, but do you want your grand opening alive or unalive? That's all we need to know. So the producer was like, well, you need to call everyone and tell them don't come because we don't want to expose anyone else. Well, Charmaine, honey, your prayers have been answered. You don't have to worry about making Nick mad. You don't have to worry about going to the grand opening and all is right with the world except for Don. So he calls Ryan and he's like, yeah, it's a dub for the day, bro. We got a positive test. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. It didn't give much. I mean, it had a little zhuzh here and there, but it really wasn't giving what needs to be gave. Don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.